Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, family. Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, we are talking about the wrestling, the hardcore legend Mick Foley. Mick Foley standing up to power, speaking truth to power, but also, not bending the knee like most folks have been doing lately in regards to making the president, making sure the president's on they're on the president's good side. There we go. I couldn't get it out. Making sure they stay on the president's good side. I'm going to continue to talk about it. I spoke about on the previous show the disgusting act of our sitting president in response to the recent passing of Rob Reiner and his wife. They were brutally murdered. By their report says right now their son is in custody and in charge for the killings of both his parents. Rob Reiner, who is a legendary actor, director, screenwriter, producer. He's behind films like Misery, one of my all-time favorites, A Few Good Men, When Harry Met Sally, The Bucket List. His catalog is unheard of. You hear me? Unheard of. And I want to do him justice so I can really let you know. Plus, he's the son of Carl Reiner, so we all know the legendary Carl Reiner. But films that he has been behind, he starred in All in the Family, which is one of my favorite shows. Stand By Me, A Few Good Men, I mentioned. Wolf of Wall Street, he starred in. And So It Goes, Flipped, The Bear. This man has everything he's touched turned to gold. Literally, everything he has touched turned to gold. It's extremely sad how he passed. So we've literally heard from everybody discuss how sad the passing was, how sad the situation, how sad this is. This is a moment in American history that will never be forgotten, because Carl Reiner did bring a lot of good to the area. Yeah, he was very, very, very left wing, but at the end of the day, separate the politics from the individual. He had friends from all sides of the aisle. Let me read you this real quick. Well, actually, no. Let me go ahead and play you. Let me play you a clip of one of his good friends. James Woods, who is very conservative, who is, I would say, consider very MAGA. This is what he had to say about his friend. I mentioned his friend, Rob Reiner, and the respect. Let me play you this.
Didn't know that Rob and I knew each other. They'd see us laughing and kidding each other, and they'd go, "How is it that you and Rob Reiner are friends?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" They said, "Well, you're so different in your politics and so on." I said, "Look, let me explain something about Rob Reiner so that you know. First of all, I judge people by how they treat me, and Rob Reiner was a godsend in my life. We got along great. We loved each other. We had more fun together doing a very serious subject. It was a way to kind of get through it. And he was always on my side. But when people would say to me, "Well, what do you think of his politics?" I would say, "I think Rob Reiner is a great patriot. Do I agree with some of or many of his ideas on how that patriotism should be enacted to celebrate the America that we both love? No. But he doesn't agree with me either, but he also respects my patriotism. We had a different path to the same destination, which was a country we both loved.
Y'all, I've said it so many. He could not say it any better. James Woods could not say it any better. I've said it time and time again. People don't understand how I have friends that are on the right, how I have friends that are have voted for Trump maybe more than once. Okay, people don't understand that. People don't understand how can you be sane with this? Look, I know I've said it this time and time again. Who you vote for, who you leaned, whatever your politics is, what's the outcome that you're trying to do? What is your reason? Because at the end of the day, we all have different pathways. Like James Will said, we have different pathways, but we have the same ending. We all want we all have the same outcome. We all want the same outcome. All right. Now, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent. I don't care. Now, obviously, I've shared my thoughts on how I feel about Trump. If that's who you think is your quote unquote, it's a judgment free zone. But I have to realize, like, what are your true intentions? You know what I mean? I might look at you funny. But you treat me with the same respect I give you. You treat me with all kindness. I can't turn a blind eye to you. I can't turn the other cheek on you. It's just that's just me. He's not the only one that has shared those that same I would say response, or not even response, but just and James Woods is, man, it don't get no more conservative really than James Woods, right? I'm bringing this up, y'all, because Donald Trump is continuing to receive heat from so many folks, mainly on the right. I was listening to a program, conservative program, call-in show, that listeners were saying, like, hey, look, I voted for him twice. He should have just kept his mouth shut. This is you call yourself a, God-fearing Christian man. Well, what would you do, kind of thing, and this, and the other. Here's my thing. They always say he can sometimes be petty, or he takes the petty approach sometimes. What do you mean sometimes? He is petty. Not here and there, not sometimes. This man is generally petty. He is one of the most pettiest individuals I've ever seen. And what's more comical to me is that he is so petty at the age of 80. Oh my God. Why? Like, you would think your pettiness level would retire after what? Your 30s, mid 30s at least? Maybe after the 40s. I don't know, y'all. What y'all think? I mean, this man has been petty from birth to now, and he will forever be petty. He's never wrong in his eyes. He's the one that's always right. He's the one that always has to say, see, I did much better than Obama. I did so much better than Biden. How long are you going to continue to always bring up past folks' names just because it's like, are you trying to, like, who said this was a competition? Politics should not be a competition. Politics should be a choice, and it should be a task that you, as an elected official, that grew up with the silver spoon, elected official that is a billionaire, then you should just say, well, I just want to do this because I want to give back to the American people. I want to help those in need. Elected officials sometimes can be one of the most biggest charity positions out there. Now, yes, they do get paid. Yes, I would say, I think, most politicians deserve more than what they're getting paid. I'll be honest. Because the pressure, the headache, the stress that job brings on, yeah, someone deserves a larger reward. But this man, let me tell you something. Now I wish I could play the video of what Don Lemon had to say about Trump, because his was a bit more. He had a lot of words. He had a lot of unkind words to say about President Trump. But let me go ahead and share this quick clip of folks on the right of their response of what he had to, after hearing what the president had to say.
Classless. It's not appropriate. It's not presidential. I mean, they're real people. They were brutally murdered. It's not a laughing matter.
I found it extremely distasteful and completely inappropriate.
I liked his last sentence. That was about all that needed to be said.
What about the rest of it?
It's very disappointing.
A wise man once said nothing. I think President Trump should have said nothing.
Now, this is a rarity in Donald Trump's time.
So right then and there, you had all Republican elected officials from the U.S. Senate to Congress, from the U.S. Senate to Congress, all responding, having the same exact answer. And one guy said the last sentence, and I'm gonna read you that full message again, because I want y'all to continue to listen to, again, the kind of person we have right now in leadership, leading this country, a country that right now has seen prices go up, a country that is in a bad economy, a country that is seeing a lot of horrific acts. I'm talking crime, shootings, you name it. A lot of division. Let me read you this. Because I read it before, but I'm reading you again. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable afflictions with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. This man said that Rob Reiner and his wife died because of Trump derangement syndrome. Y'all, are we hearing this? Are we hearing this? Is nothing but the good Lord that's holding me from using words and terms that I know will get me in trouble with my affiliates. So I'm not going to say that. But the fact of the matter is, this is the same guy when it came to every single, when it came to every single horrific act that has occurred here in these United States. And I'm talking going back to the assassination of a conservative activist, talk show host, podcaster, Charlie Kirk, a young man who was brutally assassinated in front of college students. I believe it was in was it Utah? I believe Utah or Colorado, one of the two. I apologize if I'm blanking on the state. I want to say Utah. This is the same guy to rather say there is no place for political violence. He said, due to the radical left is what caused a man to lose his life. That's basically what he said. That's what he said. One thing that at the time made Rudy Giuliani America's mayor was because he set his politics aside and during 9/11, he put his politics aside and all his attention was on the innocent lives lost and the families that were affected. That was really what the main outcome was. He didn't make it about himself. He didn't. Now, this was a terrorist attack, so yeah, you have to understand that there's slight politics in this. This incident that occurred to Rob Reiner and his wife was no political or terrorist attack at all. There was nothing political about it. And then I replayed you guys the clip when Rob Reiner spoke about what had happened to Charlie Kirk. He said it was horrific. It was horror. I didn't agree with his politics, but that does not deserve an innocent man to lose his life. I mean, I don't get it, ladies and gentlemen. I do not get it. I don't get it. I mean, damn. You can't find one nice thing to say about somebody. Everything is always about you. Everything is about you. And it makes me more frustrated, y'all, because I'll be honest. When Trump was shot at during the presidential election and it grazed his ear, I had sympathy. I was quite sad, I might ask. For a person that cannot stand him, I was quite sad because I'm like, you know what? That man's a husband. That man's a father. He's a grandfather. No one should want to see their loved one at that. It's great. Like, thank God it could have ended worse, but it didn't. So you literally wanted to. You felt sorry. I didn't say, well, due to such a no. There's no place for that. That's and I called out folks that were either celebrating it or saying it was a hoax. I called them out on my show. I called out groups like that because it's uncalled for. So that's just me. I had to speak that out because more and more will come out about this this very sad. I've been honestly watching because Misery is one of my favorite suspense films, horror films. Misery is one of my favorite one. Obviously, Wolf of Wall Street is one of my all-time favorites. The Bucket List. I mean, come on, the list goes on and on and on. Again, thoughts and prayers to the Reiner family. This is a awful period, and no individual, no person should be disrespected the way they were by anybody. But your sitting president is even more disheartening, y'all. More disheartening. Look, you're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get it going with everything. So don't go anywhere. You listen to the Arrington Gavin Show.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story. Crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. Before we move forward, if you have not yet done so, hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe, as I mentioned before. Share with a friend, share with family. I truly appreciate it. We want to continue to grow those subscription numbers as well as viewerships, which we do see growth literally every day. Every day we're seeing more growth, and I couldn't say thank you enough. I just thank you. Want to keep that momentum going. Also, for those who are watching us on Facebook, hey, follow us. I truly appreciate it. You can check us out on Facebook. Okay, so as I was mentioning before, I still had to vent off about this guy we have in office, man. It truly it kills me to know that we have a leader like that doesn't look that. I mean, there you couldn't. It's no worse thing I can literally say. I mean, you've crapped on people's home countries. You've insulted folks publicly, whether there's their appearance, their size, this, that. You've made fun of the disabled. Okay, you've done it all. You've literally done it all. You've literally done it all. Again, this is a guy that said years back during the Charlottesville riots, there's good Americans on both sides. Good Americans on both sides. Do we not remember with the Charlottesville riot, how that occurred? By the way, y'all can look it up. I'm not going to go there. But anyway, I'm going to continue this because one thing about me, I am a huge wrestling fan. I grew up a huge wrestling fan. I continue to be a huge wrestling fan. I'm not too involved as I was when I was a kid, but I'm kind of slowly but surely I'll watch it from time to time and stuff. WWE has grown into a large multi-billion-dollar, probably damn near trillion right about now, but multi-billion-dollar industry company. You name it, it's amazing. It's amazing. How did they get involved in politics? Okay, so Linda McMahon, co-founder of the WWE, she's on the Trump administration. She's the Secretary of Education. Why? I do not know, but she also served on the previous Trump administration. She is also the wife of Vince McMahon. And you have Paul Levesque. Everybody knows him as Triple H. He's also he serves as like a high executive position in World Wrestling Entertainment. They are always seen, buddy with Trump and all that stuff, so on and so on. So anyway, I've already showed you the very disgraceful response that the president has sent out after in response to the passing of an innocent husband and wife who was brutally murdered. You heard about that. Just because the man did not agree with his politics, he decides to let me put out a true social insulting him, the guy, and not showing any empathy. So you have, in my opinion, a national treasure. You have the one and only known as the hardcore legend, Mick Foley. Mick Foley recently shared a video explaining why he's parting ways with the WWE. And so let me go ahead and play you all that clip here, and we'll discuss it on the other end.
Oh, Mr. President, my name is Mick Foley. We've only met once. We are both members of the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2013. We had a very short conversation where you told me it was an excellent speech. Your two sons next to you, 2 of 3. And I said, thank you, Mr. Trump. But since then, I've become a fairly constant critic, and I think I've had good reason to do that. But I believe if I'm going to have any credibility as a critic, I have to be willing to give credit where it's due, and you are due a lot of credit. I believe I'm going to be excoriated by people from the left and the right alike. but I have to take the chance. I want to make it a point. This is not a joke. I'm not out here to sling one-liners at you, to call you names. I'm here to appeal to you as a human being, because only you can stop the madness that's going on in our country. I believe you are due a lot of credit when it comes to the Gaza ceasefire and peace plan. You deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. It's yours if you can stop the madness in this country, because you will not be given the Nobel Peace Prize if you are seen as inciting tension, terror, and if you are seen zip tying children and senior citizens, abducting day laborers just looking to do an honest day's work. I don't want to use the word terror, but if people are terrified across wide swaths of the United States, in my opinion, that's terrorism. You, Mr. President, the buck stops with you. Mr. President, I want to make it clear, this is something I'm doing on my own. I'm in a rented Airbnb in Nashville. There's no notes in front of me. There's no teleprompter. This is just me looking at the camera, speaking from my heart to you, a fellow human being, a fellow 2013 WWE Hall of Fame member. You and you alone, Mr. President, have the power to stop the madness. Thank you for watching, Mr. President. Thank you for listening. Thank you to whoever it was that brought this piece of video to your attention, because I know you're a very busy man. I don't believe it's going to make a difference, but I would love it if you would prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Mr. President.
I mean, can we just give Mick Foley the Nobel Peace Prize? Can we do that? Can we just do that? Mick Foley, someone who is not a political guy whatsoever. I know he's written, he's an author. He's written, I believe, a few bestsellers, New York Times bestsellers, if I'm not mistaken. But he said what so many people is saying. You over here whine that you're not receiving the Nobel Peace Prize because you're busy. You rather take care of wars overseas, but not take care of issues that happen in your current country. Because I'm sorry, it's nothing to benefit him out here in the United States. I said it. I personally think there's higher benefits for him doing works overseas than it is here. I mean, why would you have an individual, Mick Foley? He said y'all shared the same Hall of Fame class of 2013. And he's just like, how do you expect to receive a Nobel Peace Prize if you don't bring peace to your own country? Or if you don't bring peace in general? Like, why do you? Because everything is always it's a witch hunt. It's a damn witch hunt. Witch hunt this, witch hunt that. It's a disgrace. It's a witch hunt. I tell you, witch hunt. Everybody's against me. Everybody. They just don't want to see me win. Win. That's all I hear. Whenever he gets his whining session on, I'm like, there he goes in a little temper tantrum. It's disgraceful, flat out disgraceful, y'all. But I mean, well said words from the hardcore legend, the wrestling legend, Mick Foley. I hope there's more folks that will stand behind him, because again, you have a lot of folks in World Wrestling Entertainment that is higher up that do love to side a little more with Trump, right? They again, we're talking about the organization that is doing business overseas with Saudi Arabia. I mean, last time I checked, their laws is a bit strict. If it was just me, you know what I mean? If we're a country that's all about freedom, I don't know why you do stuff with a country that doesn't really show a lot of freedom to their people. That's just me. But what do I know? But again, flowers to Mick Foley for making that statement, man. I hope we all can continue to have a spirited, a mind and a spirit like him. I hope we all can continue to push that narrative. I'll tell you one thing too. I'm gonna tell you one thing, and this is to the Democrats. Y'all playing your cards right. Y'all doing a smart strategy here, and you're probably asking Arrington, what strategy are you talking about? The Democrats has not said a word in comparison to how the right is, because reporters have been asking the right, do you condone the words of your president from this? And they've all shared their frustration and disagreement with this guy. Obviously, the left will, they're not going to agree with anything Trump says, but they have not vocally, they have not bolstered out as loud as they normally would do on a regular, like how I'm doing. Because here's the thing, y'all, midterms, they know if they continue to talk about this man personally, it's not a winning strategy for them in elections. They're like this. Let him continue to take the heat, because we ain't got to say nothing but just look at how the world is being run. That's the best strategy right there, Democrats, that you have been doing that you've been doing as of right now, is shutting the hell up. You don't got to say nothing. Don't got to say nothing. Okay. The off-season elections that we recently had was spectacular for the left. Okay, y'all did a hell of a job. Now y'all got the excuse me, y'all have the midterms, and let's see how you guys do. Let me fast forward this to we're gonna move on to another excuse me, to another story that has been making waves here. So Dan Bongino, he is a former Fox News contributor, former Fox News host. I think he hosts a weekend show for a period there. Also a conservative talk radio host and podcaster, very, very, very successful podcaster, might I add. He made, bank when I heard that he was when he was taking a position in the White House. I was like, this joker is crazy. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You're making so much money. But what do I know? Like, I can understand somebody like a Pete Hegseth or really, I won't even say Sean Duffy, but Sean Duffy got like what? Like 9-10 kids. So I get it. You got to stay working, man. You got to look for you got to look for those high positions that will bring in the money. But Sean Duffy, I think he hosted a daily program on Fox Business. So he was doing good. He had his own program. Well, he co-hosted the program. Hegseth was a weekend anchor, and then he all of a sudden became the Secretary of War, or Secretary of the what was he? Secretary of Defense. There we go. I couldn't get it out. But then I hear about Bongino. Like, what is? And Bongino is one of the most, extreme right, in my opinion. Bongino is always going to be citing whatever Trump tells him to do, yada yada yada, this and then the other, whatever. But that's him. That's his perspective and all this other stuff. Bongino was, I believe, was he in FBI agent before, or Secret Service? There we go. He was a Secret Service for a short period, and then grew a name as in the conservative media. And like I said, he had a very successful podcast, which I think, now he's going to be leaving. He's going to be returning that, which, fans, that's going to be right there. Like he just had a little hiatus. Now he's like, okay, now I got some good intel, so I can talk about everything. Yada, yada. Anyway, let me go ahead and share you all this, and we will let's go and chop it up about Good old Dan Bongino.
Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino announcing on X just moments ago he is leaving the Bureau in January. He added this: "I want to thank President Trump, AG Bondi, and Director Patel for the opportunity to serve with purpose. Most importantly, I want to thank you, my fellow Americans, for the privilege to serve you. God bless America and all those who defend you." Here, Deputy FBI Director.
So again, very, very, very short-lived for him. The reason why, and I was just talking to one of my friends about this. I was like, I think that his stay was so short because, I mean, look at the L he took. Look, well, he took many, but look at the main one. Remember the sit-down conversation where I think it was with Maria, I don't, but Baratomo or the lady from Fox. No, I'm sorry, I don't really watch her that much, but he had to sit down alongside with Kash Patel, and they were questions about, hey, let's talk about Epstein. Was his life taken by homicide, or was it suicide the way the cases show, and this and any other? And he being Dan Bongino has said it was by suicide. It was by suicide. It's clear evidence that is but it was the body language, that the way he showed like it was a defeat to him, because for the longest, Bongino was a part of the whole, right-wing conspiracy tour that it's more to it with the Epstein file. Show the list. He wasn't killed. That's what he was spewing out, him and all his right-wing friends. That's what all they were doing. Now that you're there and you're saying it was like, see, now all his viewers are like, wait, what? You told us, Dan. What in the world? Like, it was an L for them. It was the biggest L for them. And yeah, it was an L, and so on and so on. I mean, it was the whole, the administration is a joke. I mean, let's just be honest. The administration is a joke. No one is qualified in their positions that they serve. Nobody is qualified. The only person I'll probably give credit to will be Caroline. Caroline holding the fork down. She's press secretary, 20 years old. She holding the fork down. I'll give it to her. I'll give it to Caroline. Let me read you this though, reported by BBC.com. Bongino, a staunch Trump ally, was considered a surprise pick for the role, which had previously been held by career agents because he had no prior experience with the agency. Now, the FBI Agents Association, which represents around 14,000 current and former agents, had opposed his appointment to the position. Now announcing his decision recently on social media, I'm not going to reread the statement that he had shared, but before joining the agency, Dan Bongino had echoed disinformation and conspiracy theories about Trump's false claim that he won the 2020 election. Oh, I forgot about that one. And about the January 6th, 2021 pipe bomb investigation. Bongino had previously called the pipe bomb case an inside job. After taking office, he pushed to make the investigation, which Attorney General Bondi said had languished, a priority from the FBI. Now, early this month, a man with no known ties to the government was arrested nearly 6 years after the pipe bombs were discovered outside the national headquarters for the Republican and Democratic parties. Now, FBI Patel, in a social media post, recently posted praising Bongino's tenure, saying he had served as the people's voice for transparency, delivered major breakthroughs in long unsolved cases like the pipe bomb investigation. Okay, whatever. He not only completed his mission, he far excelled it. Well, I don't really see the excel part, my friend. I don't see the excel part. Bongino also appeared to change his mind about, as I spoke before, about the death of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein once he became a leader at the FBI. Now, as a commentator, he has questioned whether Epstein took his own life in New York prison cell in 2019 while awaiting trial. Then in May, Bongino said, "I have seen the whole file. He killed himself." So all you had to do was just see the whole file. All you had to do was just see the old file. Okay. The memo frustrated many Trump supporters who echoed the Epstein conspiracy theories and rejected the Justice Department's findings. Now, according to the BBC's media partner, CBS News, the memo led to continuous meeting between him and Bondi. Bondi, who oversees the FBI, wrote in a brief post on X that Americans are safer because of Bongino's FBI service. Oh, how sweet. How sweet. Okay, I'm done talking about Bongino. Because all he's going to do is just go right back to his cave and do his podcast and radio shows and make his money on that side. That's I mean, come on, y'all. It's the way the game works. That's where his funds was in that field. So let's not play dumb here. Okay, we talked about Bongino. We talked about how Trump's first class. You know what? Let me. I'm gonna look at what time. Let me go ahead and move it on to this story right here. So y'all know I am I'm an avid NewsNation watcher. I like NewsNation. I do. I enjoy watching it. Is it my number one? No, but I do watch it most of the time. I watch it more than I would probably like a Fox News. I'll watch it. I probably watch it a little. I watch it more than I do MS Now. We used to be called MSNBC. But yeah, like I catch myself watching. Like if I'm watching cable news, I'm watching CNN and NewsNation. Those are like my top two ones that I am watching here. So the reason I brought this up is because NewsNation has made the announcement they'll be adding yet another Fox voice on their channel. Now, NewsNation is dubbed they're dubbed the how can I put it? They're dubbed the centrist cable news channel. Okay. When NewsNation was first created, they were trying to have be an alternative compared to the partisan channels that we had in our library, which was really three that was the top tier. You had CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News. So Fox News being the right wing, right, Republican leaning, conservative leaning channel. You had MSNBC, which I would say was more progressive left, not as strong progressive left, but I would say was quite progressive left. And then you had CNN, which was left leaning, that is starting to transition to more center left. And here comes NewsNation as a new network that started off really on a channel that nobody was really watching. They start off with maybe like 1 or 2 hours worth of news, and then it expanded to 24/7, which was a big deal. I mean, I remember watching it from day one to now 24/7. Owned by Nexar. NewsNation has faces. They brought in people like Ashley Banfield, who is a former CNN anchor, Dan Abrams, who is a ABC chief legal analyst, a host on SiriusXM. He owns his own many of businesses. He's the founder of Mediaite, and so he has, they brought in him. They have now brought in Chris Cuomo. They brought in Elizabeth Vargas. They brought in Geraldo Rivera. I mean, let me see if I can while I'm talking to you all. But the reason why I brought this up is because, like I said, they're bringing in a new voice, and that's not what I wanted. They're bringing in another Fox News voice. Let's see. Is this what I want? Yes, it is. So yes, they've brought in a new voice, another Fox News individual, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not quite happy with it. the person that they I'm reading this by the Independent News Nation Cable News has once again dipped into the Fox News well to fill in a program lineup. Now, recently, Ashley Banfield, who has been hosting her own primetime show at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, would now lead. She will still stay at News Nation, but she will be the lead in its true crime digital vertical. So she will be bringing on her podcast to the News Nation platform, and she talks everything crime related, things like crime investigation, this and that and the other. And it's pretty dope. I would say I was never like feeling the show just because the full lineup was always news, 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 and then at 10 p.m. crime. Like, do you really want to go to bed watching like heavy crime, or hearing about heavy crime? And really, in general, I mean, hey, the news is the news, so you don't want to go to bed with the news on your mind anyway, because a bit depressing. But she had said she was stepping down, and that they were going to be alternating some hosts at the 10 p.m. Time slot. Now, I thought it was going to take some time. This one was like just like that. It was announced, and they will be having longtime Fox News contributor Katie Pavlich. Pavlich will be the second ex-Fox personality to host a primetime show on News Nation. Now, Leland Vittert, who hosts On Balance at 9 p.m., is also a former Fox News anchor and correspondent. Now, look, I ain't crazy about Leland. I mean, you definitely know Leland's views on his program, even though, like, News Nation again is trying to be balanced. Hell, the name of the show is On Balance. Leland can play fair sometimes. Sometimes I'm not really feeling his take on it. If you think about it, this will kind of be like two liberal voices, two conservative voices. Elizabeth Vargas is more left leaning, in my opinion. She might be a centrist, but she's center left. In my opinion, again, I'm not speaking for her, but I'm just saying, in my opinion, that's where I get from her. She's at 7 p.m. 8 p.m. is Chris Cuomo, which we all know when Chris was let go of CNN, it was announced that he will be joining News Nations. He's kind of like the lead person in my. I would say he's kind of like the lead team captain of the whole bunch. Every time they do specials and live coverage, this and that, he's usually the lead at the table. If you look at, he's has the most success. I mean, CNN, ABC, Fox, he's had the most success. The two liberals, now two conservatives. Now, Katie, I remember seeing her as a rotating host on The Five. Now, that's where I'm like, okay, so what are you guys? Are you guys balanced, or are you guys being more center right? Are you because are you trying to be more conservative? Like, what side are you taking now? Because look, they've also added an individual on their weekend lineup, Batya Ungard Sargon. Now, Batya, she hosts a show called Batya on Saturdays, where she has considered herself a left-leaning MAGA supporter. So I'm like, it's a bit weird, but she's very, her take, what her take is going to be. So you have her on weekends. So again, you're building up more Fox voices, and is it because they're tired of Fox narrative? Like, what, no, it's not that. What they're doing, they're getting a lot of Fox contributors and giving them their own shows. Blake Berman, who was he was a contributor, I believe, on Fox Business. He moderates a show called The Hill, which is more like a panel discussion show. Let's see here. Connell McShane is, yes, here we go. You have Blake Berman. Connell McShane is an ex Fox business anchor. And then also Anna Kuman, who was a former Fox weekend co-host, who I think she's on weekends now, and then also longtime news, Fox News correspondent Laura Ingle, who's also a part of News Nation. Now, you have these voices all coming to Fox. You got to see, and also Geraldo Rivera, who left Fox after 20 plus years. That's now on News Nation as a correspondent at large. I will be honest. I mean, his mind is very sharp. Geraldo, like almost 85 years old. Okay. You have Chris Starwalt, who was fired from Fox News after defending the network's early but accurate Arizona call for Joe Biden. So he's been up there for a minute, and then there is another person up there too. Oh yeah, so yeah, MAGA leftist. That's what Batya, who has her own weekend show. So it's I don't know if it's gonna be a winning strategy for News Nation. News Nation would definitely have to bring on some more. It will not even bring on more liberal voices. You would have to give them programs. That's my thing. Make it fair. If you want to be so much of the balanced centrist, you know, leaning platform, then give us balance. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you, they have contributors to like Chris Hahn, who's the host of the Aggressive Progressive podcast. He is a contributor for News Nation. You also then have Sean Spicer, former press secretary, former Newsmax host. He's a contributor on there. You have who else is up there? You have George Will, who left the Republican Party. He's more independent, but he still has conservative views, but he's more of like the never Trump Republican. Kurt Bardella, News Nation contributor, former Republican, longtime Republican strategist turned Democratic strategist. So now he's the Democratic voice. A. Scott Bolden, political contributor. He is a former Democratic chair for the former, make sure my mic is working here, former chair for the DC Democratic Party. I've seen him many times on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Chris Saliza, he's a News Nation contributor, more left leaning, but again, like you have a good number of left leaning people. Give them a weekend slot. You don't need to give them a prime time. I'm just saying, like, make it fair. Make it fair. Lindsey Granger, Chris Hanna mentioned Colby. Like you have, I mean, I'm maybe not gonna mispronounce this man's last name, but he's a contributor in comments. Steve Crocker. He's a EP for the Megyn Kelly show. Again, you always gotta, and y'all, this is personally why a lot of people in general just do not lean to corporate media. They go and they lean to the independent media because they're like, at the end of the day, it's all corporate owned. They are going to be partisan. They're all going to give you a side. Like, just sometimes give me the real deal Holyfield. You know what I mean? But hey, I'm not mad at the come up for Miss Pavlich. Very young, to have her own show is, hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm not hating at all. All I'm saying is I've heard her political takes. I'm trying to understand when News Nation continues to promote themselves as for all America. For all America. Well, she just came from a network that wasn't for all America. And now you're giving her a prime time 10 p.m. slot 5 days a week. I don't know. Now I do think it will be a boost in the ratings, possibly. They're saying it's gonna be debate format stuff, that and the other, and then they're gonna add another hour of news. So let's see. Could she compete with an Abby Phillips at CNN with Newsnight? Could she compete with Greg Gutfeld at Fox News? Could she compete with Last Word at MS Now? We will see. We will see, my friends. Let's take a quick commercial break here. Take a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. We're almost coming to a close of our show. But look, don't go anywhere, my friends. We'll be right back here. Listen to the Arrington Gavin Show.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, this that new Goldverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing Goatverse TV.
Goatverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
All right, my friends. Well, look, I got a short amount of time right now, but I do want to share this here. Check this out. So this, my friends, is the first female college football player that is not a kicker. Okay, I want to show you this right here. Now I might not have time to talk about the full story here, so we might need to add this on the next one. But let me just read you a little bit. Shenandoah's Haley Van Voris becomes the first female non-kicker to play NCAA football. She saw action in a recent game at Division III matchup of Shenandoah University versus Juniata College. I tell you, I feel like I find out a new university each and every day. On a 3rd and long in the first quarter on the contest, the safety registered as a quarterback press reach result in an incomplete pass. On the occasion marks the first time a female is in a non-kicking position non-kicking position has seen the field in an NCAA game. She joins the room of NCAA female football players alongside Katie Nita, a place kicker who became the first female to score in an NCAA football game in 2003, and Vanderbilt legend Sarah Fuller. Y'all, I'm gonna have to continue to share this story on the next show because it's quite interesting. I mean, this girl, she's stocky now. She's very, very, very in shape, and it always brings the question now. Okay, will this help the case where it's like, women playing in men's sports, men's playing in women's sports? Like, what are we doing here, right? Where does this go from now? Where does this go from now? So we'll continue to talk about it, y'all, here on the program. As always, thank you for sticking with us here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Be sure to tune in weeknights, available on all digital and streaming platforms. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed there. We got some more great convos coming your way and great topics and the whole 9 yards, y'all. The whole 9 yards. So y'all take care, stay safe out there, stay informed, and I will talk to y'all next time here on the show. I'm out. Peace.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.